I'm going to do a video on something called HD radio, which it has pretty much failed, but I'm going to do a video on it anyway just because it's out there and it needs to kind of go. Well, I'm not going to say it needs to go away, but it's basically stupid, and why people are still using it is beyond me. There's actually a site online called hdradio.com, which I'm on right now, and I probably won't link it in the description because why? It's dumb. I'm going to read some of the stuff off of here and say what I have to say about it. More stations, digital sound, and no subscription. Why would you don't need a subscription for analog radio, FYI. Anybody with a brain can figure that out. Why would you need a subscription? It's free. As long as you got a receiver, you can get it. It makes no sense. You don't need it for either. Digital sound, okay. Well, analog has analog sound. Okay. More stations. Good luck. The amount of stations you got is very limited, at least in my case. Where I live, the nearest HD station, and as far as I'm concerned, the only one that could be worth listening to, as far as I know, is 100 miles away from me on FM, and of course, there's absolutely no way you're going to pick it up ever without traveling to it. And it seems like it's more popular in big cities with really big populations. You might find a couple stations, but then for every 25 analog stations, there's 5 digital. So, maybe 10 if you're lucky. So more stations maybe in Los Angeles, but not anywhere else. In a city with over hundreds of thousands of people maybe, but that's about it. Okay, I'm going to click on here, how it works. Well, it's kind of, if you're smart you know how it works, but I'm not going to explain that. There's even a thing on here where there's a sound quality comparison, which I'll get into later. More stations, digital sound. Okay, let me read this off here. HD radio technology has the best selection of local radio with amazing features and no monthly fees. Why would it cost a monthly fee? Really? Flippin' analog does not cost a monthly fee. It's free. It's like they're using that as a selling point or something. Oh, it's HD, so you think it will cost a fee? No, it doesn't. Analog doesn't, so why would it? Wow. Amazing features. All you need is a receiver. It's kind of like with digital TV when the FCC forced everybody to switch. All you need is a receiver. Excuse me. Wow. All you need is a receiver. Well, all the old TVs didn't, probably 90% or so, unless you had a new TV. Many people didn't. They didn't receive digital, so you didn't have a receiver. You had to get a converter or buy a new TV. And if yours was really old, that's probably what you did. So, kind of a catch there. Well, you can get it, but you gotta buy a converter box or get a new TV. So, you gotta spend some money there. And yeah, the government did pay for some, but they didn't pay for all of them. You can get access to new content up to 3 additional stations, HD 2, 3, and 4, yeah. You can get the, to display song titles, album art, and station information such as, it says here, weather, sports scores, emergency messages, reliability when you need it most. Let me read that again. HD radio signals provide reliability when you need it the most. Are you kidding? Digital TV is not even reliable as it is. Come on. It's like saying digital is reliable when if you don't got a perfectly strong 100% strong signal, it goes all blocky, the picture pixelates, and then the audio cuts out and you don't get a signal at all, and it'll put a display on your screen saying no signal, try moving your antenna. Come on, that's not reliable. You think, well, there's no picture with radio, and I've seen some comments online of people talking about it, and what they say is if you don't got a perfectly good signal, like if you're traveling on an interstate and you go under a bridge, the signal cuts out and it goes back to the analog station. So, and if it's, I don't think that's really a thing, but if it's an HD only station, then you got no station. It just cuts away. It's not like an analog where you might get a little bit of fade or some static. If you're on FM, slight hiss or maybe distortion, or fades in and out if you're lucky. it's not like that. It goes away completely, just like TV. It's not like you have a picture, but just a little bit of, what would you call that? Snow on the screen? It's not like that. It just goes away completely and pixelates and cuts out. That's a joke right there, pretty much. Additional screening, album art, yeah, traffic and weather, we know. No connection. Factory installed receivers. Tells you how to get one. "10 times faster than other broadcast methods." What is it? How is that faster? How is getting information 10 times faster? You can display more on your screen. Well, if you don't got a screen, you can't. So it's like in your car. Well, in your car you'd have a screen, but if it just has like a, plain radio for your table, you're not gonna have a screen to display that information. So looks like 10 times faster went down the drain. It never looked so good. Sure. Digital sound. This is one of the things I really got to kind of complain about, is the sound quality. And I've seen, they have a sound quality comparison right here on their site with a song called Red Balloon by Totsi. Great selection. But anyway, I've seen comparisons of sound quality online, and oh boy, you're really in for something. It says here on the site, no static, no hiss, only the good stuff. Really? Broadcast clear digital quality to your local area, making static, hiss, and fuzz a thing of the past. Hear the difference using the samples. And I'm going to look at the sample right now. Okay. Hopefully the camera is picking this up, but I'm going to do it right now. This is analog. Here's digital.
Too many days I've spent with my head in my hands, living in black and white, don't know what.
Are you serious? Is that a joke or something? If you have that much static in your song, what are you doing? There should never be that much static, like that big burst. That sounded almost like a lightning strike. You might get that on AM if you got a strong storm in your area, but there should never be just residual static like that. Maybe if you're right next to a fluorescent light, when you just turn it on, maybe. On AM, and I'm not talking on FM, there shouldn't be that. On FM, if you got a lightning strike, there should be like a clicking, an annoying clicking noise. So that's basically just a hoax right there. There's no way you get that static, just residual static like that on FM. And hopefully the camera picked it up well, but if not, you can just go to the site and you can look for yourself. I want to play a little bit more just so I get this right. Yeah, there shouldn't be background static like that. That doesn't really, that's not exist. It does not exist, people. That's a hoax just to make them seem like, oh, there's quite an improvement there. When really there isn't. And actually the sound quality itself, if you hear it there, if you go listen to yourself, the sound quality itself is basically no difference. And they've done it, I've seen experiments for it, or comparisons for it, done on both AM and FM. On FM, there's basically no interference itself, unless obviously there's a storm in your area, or you're on a weak station, which in that case there could be quite a few problems. So on FM it's kind of useless, but sound quality on FM, it's basically pointless. FM already sounds fine the way it is, and putting them in digital just makes it seem like you cranked the treble all the way through the roof and you lost your bass. That's basically what it sounds like. There's no really point. On AM, I've watched them on AM too. Only difference is, yeah, some static in the background goes away, and that depends if you're on a weak station. If you're on a strong station, man, I'm slurring out my words like a flippin' joker tonight. If you're on a strong station, there should be no static in the background at all if you're on a strong station. So, but if you're on a weak one, does it help with the static? Yeah. But in the sound quality itself, it basically sounds exactly like FM. The treble is cranked through the roof, and it sounds kind of like a CD or maybe an MP3 or something, just completely sterilized through digital equipment with no... It doesn't sound like itself anymore, like everything's just processed to the max. Like I see on the videos too, if you do search digital comparison, digital analog radio comparison on YouTube, people say it sounds like they just cranked the treble through the max and processed the hell out of the music, which is basically what happened. They processed the hell out of it, and it sure sounds like it. It's not full anymore. It sounds like it's just been processed to death. There's no static. The static thing is a joke, especially in the comparison. There shouldn't be that at all. Maybe like in the comparison, maybe a lightning strike. That's it. There shouldn't be that residual. Let me get that right. Static in the background, like it is in the comparison. That's just a hoax, people. Come on, they make it wanna. Seems to be like a good marketing tactic. They want to make it sound better than it actually is. So there you go. I'm going to look on their site some more if there's anything else to say here or what. That's about all there is there. I'm going to go look quickly. And also another video I'm going to do is AM sound quality and crap. Oh, it's supposed to make AM sound better. Well, AM should sound good how it is. That's going to be another video, by the way. AM versus FM sound quality. Listening options in my area. Oh, hint, hint. There are none. Kind of funny. On their site, it shows nearest HD stations, and the nearest ones it's picking up are. Let me see. How far would that be? Are what? 400 miles away? Come on. That basically shows you how much this has failed, and how they say you got more stations to select from. Bull crap, you do. That's another hoax. There's a couple of frequently asked questions here. Might as well look through those while I'm here. How does it pick up the signal? Find a receiver. How much does it cost a month? They're completely subscription free. Well, duh, it's flippin' radio. It's not TV. Well, cable TV. There is free TV, but you're not going to get as much as you want with cable. It's not going to cost anything. It's flippin' radio, people. It never has. Yeah, you can get subscription things. You can. But just itself is not going to cost anything. Plain old radio is not going to cost anything. AM, FM. Only requirement is to listen on an HD receiver. But after that, it's cost-free for life. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to buy a receiver. So if you want to get a good one, that might cost a pretty penny. Do all radios receive an HD signal? No. That's what it says. In order to receive the signal, you must have an HD receiver. Duh. What happens if you lose the signal? It will automatically switch over to the analog signal on the same frequency. There may be a slight break in the sound. When the tuner's back in range, it'll go back to the digital broadcast. Like I said, it'll just go back to the analog one in the first place. So what the hell is the point? If you don't got a perfectly strong 100%, like I said with TV, if you don't got a 100% perfectly strong signal, it goes back to the analog one. Unlike TV, it fades into nothing and it gets all blocky and goes black. It just fades in the analog signal. So, you're not getting much there. Well, that's about all there is to say here. Yeah. HDradio.com. What a joke. It's a joke, people. And I'm kind of glad it failed, too. Apparently this came out around the time, HD radio itself, came out around the time that the FCC forced everybody to require, you know, to transmit in digital for TV, and it didn't really catch on. It wasn't a forced transition like TV, you know, everything's still analog. It wasn't forced, so therefore it didn't catch on. And it's still around, but definitely analog still dominant. I'm sure it always, as far as I'm concerned, I want it to always be, will be. You know, like people say TV's dying. Well, the analog to digital forced switchover did not help things. Wow. That's what I'm going to say about this. I'm going to do another video on AM versus FM sound quality. So, don't buy into it, people. It's a scam. It's a hoax. Just like the site. It seems like the whole site, HD site, is a hoax. Especially that comparison. Go look for yourself.